This is military model Paul, and I'm just going to show you what I've done via the instructions on my BT7 and mention a couple of areas that need watching. Here we go. See if I can get a bit nearer. That's it. It's a bit near as I can get for the moment without going to 70-20. Anyway, so on the instructions, if you've got number 4, I'm sure about the bad screen. It's the pages, and there's sort of more of a light grey than they should be. But anyway, step 1 is straightforward. Make sure you clean up bits where you think you're going to see, but mainly it's just a straightforward process. Next, step 2 is getting these together. Now I cleaned up all this, and also on the C28 there's a load of sinkholes which I filled with Tamiya extra thin, my extra thin made up filler, and there it is. I don't know if that's going to show that. It's a bit blurry. I know. There you go. It's extra thin, so but I use white plastic card to actually make it, not sprue glue. I prefer the white plastic card because it's a purer plastics, and that's just me, and it sounds lovely as well. Anyway, so that went quite nicely. Number 3, which is over here, which is putting the whole bottom on the bottom of it. That sounds good, doesn't it? Whole bottom on the bottom. But anyway, basically, where you cut the screws off, make sure you really do a nice job there to actually make it fit nicely, and it's nice smooth, because it comes in really handy with it when you put the next plates on the outside. Just where the screws are, just make sure you do a nice tidy job there. C19 fits like a glove. This part's straightforward. Now this part, when you put them on, you make sure that these 2 holes, when you put it, if you do get a runway, they should be facing upwards to the top of the tank, not to the whole bottom. So turret upwards, the 2 holes have to be. You can't go wrong if you follow instructions, because it does tell you. You can see on the instructions in number 5, there's no holes there at all. So basically here. And this all went straight now. Now I've done a lot of cleaning up on the actual suspension legs, suspension arms as you want to call them, for the wheels. And a lot of it's hidden, but I've done it anyway. But a lot of it's hidden when you put the extra plate on. So, but I think it's worth doing anyway, just in case. And that bit here, this is quite straightforward. No problems again. Just tidy it up, clean up. But you will have to be careful handling it, because both these parts, B15 and B16, have got a little bit to cut off for sprue, and that sticks up and stays there, so you could easily break that off if you're not careful. I actually put a bit of Mr. Servicer on these 2 as well, to give them a bit of a casty look, because they are pretty heavily cast on the real vehicle. Moving over now to the next one, so that's number 5. Then we get to number 6, and what I did here is I actually cleaned them up nicely. There's the bits that go on them. I forgot to put number 29 and 28 on, which is a part of the suspension system, and I forgot to put them on, but I put them on here, and I still managed to get them in there with a pair of tweezers. But it's best to put them on now, because it's much easier and it fits lovely like a glove there. The chair, like I told you, I've actually cut off the bits inside the hole that actually are permanently fixed to the whole bottom of the floor. You'll see that when you see part B12, it's got the seat structure already moulded to it. I cut those off. The reason being is I wanted to actually put a metal plating floor in the end, so I decided to do that. And I cleaned them up and glued them back on underneath the seat. So that's not an issue there. These bit is A13 and both sides. They actually put them in, and it tells you to glue them in that place. But what you want to do is leave them, put your wheel on it if you want, till you get your track made up, and then put that in, because you turn it to the position where it gives you the correct slackness for the tracks. Now I didn't do that, and if I'd have known that, I would have actually left them off, or white glued them on, and then took them off, and when the track in place, turned them till I got them to where I wanted them. But there you go, life's a bitch sometimes, as they say. So I might cut mine off to redo this, to make the tracks a little less slack on my through ones. But remember, they're there actually. If you don't glue those on, you've lost your slack adjusters, way of to getting the tracks to fit perfectly. And I'll explain that a little bit in a minute when we get to the tracks actually being fitted. These bits, no problem again. These went on quite nicely. There's no issues there. Just a bit fiddly to get these arms, A9, A8, and A26 to line up a little bit. Once you've got it in place, there's no issues. It's done. Road wheels, all straightforward. Just clean up the seam on the outer walls of them. The tyres. Coming over again. Sorry about this. Going to fold this over a bit so we get the next bit. Then we get to part 10, because we've done 6, 7, 8 and the 9 is the road wheels. Then you get to part 10, is really just putting these B10 a bit on the back and then putting your wheels in place. Good things, poly caps, you can take them all off. The only one you can't take on and off really is this one here, and I actually glued that one in place. I don't want it moving anyway. Glue it in place, and I will do those rubber tyres, paint them by hand anyway, or paint the inner ones by hand, because it'd be straightforward on this particular vehicle. The rest of them will be sprayed, obviously. Right, now we get to the tracks. Someone asked me if I was going to use these. Well, not using the through ones, but I will be linking up about a modeler's video. He actually showed you the problem and why he had to cut it off and to adjust it to even get the plastic tracks to sit right. So just remember, them parts I said earlier on, A13, that go on the front for the front idler wheel, don't glue that in permanent in place until you're happy. Unless you're going to build it with the tracks and wheels in situ, then build the tracks up and then put it in place and leave it flexible so you can actually get it into the right position. But that's just one way. So remember, that's the dodgy bit might have to cut off to do. I'm not sure yet. I might even shorten the tracks by a couple of links and see if I can get away with that. Anyway, but that's what I've done. Next bit I've done is this bit here with exhaust. Like I said, I cleaned them all up and then put Mr. Surfacer on this, on A33, because they're both A33, and slot them through the slit on the top plates, and like B7 went on lovely. That lines up perfect. You've got to have no issues there. And that's as far as I've got. What I have done is jumped ahead, missing this bit, because I'm going to be doing that a bit later, because it's a photo etch stuff, and it all sits on the outside of the vehicle. Same over here. I've put that plate in place. I haven't marked it off yet, but I will do because I've glued that in place, and that's okay. And that's it, yeah. And then I did the lights, cleaned them up and put them in place on as you sit on the vehicle. I didn't put the lenses in because I'll be painting the lots of Mocotol chrome silver in there, and it goes. I haven't done any further now, but what I did do is, as you see here, I've circled, because I've done them, put the lights in place, I've circled it there, and I've put these mud guards on place because you can. And that's as far as I've got with my build. So I'll be doing the turret next, jump into the turret, because I'm waiting for some photo etch to come, and then I can deal with most of that as well. So deal with this bit, which is that up to down. So I'll be jumping forward to 21 to do the gun. I've already put these two bits together glued. I've drilled the holes for the aerial, because you have to drill when we're using a 1.2 drill. I've drilled the holes for the turret, to the aerial one, no problem. And I've actually cut this and cleaned it up, ready to go in place. So when I spray this, I'll do all the white inside, then I'll put this lid on top. When I spray the turret, it won't be affected inside, it'll be actually tacked on in place. But anyway, and the seats I'll be doing later. Now, so this is the bit I'll be doing, just building up the turret. Again, the hatches won't be glued permanently in place because I will be having them open. There is an hatch at the back of this one, but there's a radio sits on the back step of the turret. And so depending where that goes, I may or may not leave that window, that door actually open. I'm not sure, but give you more access to looking into the vehicle forward, to the forward side. May do that because I'm talking about doing a vignette. I'm even thinking about putting the figures in place. I think I need another one. I think there's 3 crew members for this. Yeah, there is. So I need another crew member to make this up. So there you go. So that's as far as I've got with the instructions. I'll just close these up now. And now we go to the tank now. Here we go. See you in a minute. Hi, back again, and this is my second take because I forgot to put the camera on manual focus, because basically it keeps clicking. These are horrible things, aren't they? So anyway, so here we go. So hopefully it'll be mostly in focus. As you can see, I've done quite a bit. This top comes off, like I think I said in my first one, comes on and off. Because obviously I want to do the full interior, like I said earlier on, so that's okay. Quite pleased with the way I've done exhaust. Like I said, I'll bring them around. Basically, the exhausts were reamed out, so you get, most people know what I mean, but just skimming around. I used the scalpel blade with the point and just turned it round slowly until I got it thinner, and then I used Mr. Surfacer 500, which is this, to actually put to surface it by dabbing it on with a brush, and to give it its rust texture to assist in the rusting later on. Yep, so that was that bit all the way around. Tracks are on, and like I said, A13 I think it was on the instructions, basically was a bit behind the front rider width. That is really your slack adjuster for the vehicle. I saw it in a video of someone else, I think it was Alberta modeler, and I'm going to actually put a link to his video up when I upload it to YouTube, so you can watch it. He actually used the kit tracks and then shows you and tells you where he made a mistake and actually had to cut that bit off and move it, and that's no problem. I might have to do the same on mine. I'll see what I'll do. I'll just remove a link. It won't make much difference, just one link. I've got a few spare links to use, so that's okay. So there you go. So just keep going round. Headlights are in place, like I said, without the glass. Mudguards are all in place. There's a lot of sink marks underneath the mudguards. I cleaned them all up using this stuff, which is what I used inside as well. I'm going to show this. This is my Tamiya extra thin. When you get some near the bottom of the jar, I put some plastic card in it, white plastic card. I don't use sprue glue because I think it's not as good as the plastic card. So that's what I do. So here we go. Yeah, I'm going to pull that over a little bit. There you go. So, and I think you can see it's coming nice. It's a nice looking vehicle, and I've actually drilled out the holes in the turret, which I forgot to mention in the video. I think I did mention actually. Ready for it, and I used the reamer again to clean them up as well. Really come out nice. So quite happy. It's going to be a nice looking vehicle when it's finished, and I am going to make a vignette for it because I've got 2 crew members. I need to get another one, a single Russian crew member, because there is 3-man crew in this. So basically, you should have one standing with the other 2 kneeling, looking at the map. So that's what I want to do in the vignette, and have the hatches open so you can actually see into the vehicle. So every hatch will be open, including possibly the one that's at the back of the turret as well, so you can see right in, and they can have it as a bit of an air because it's a bit warm. Anyway, that's my idea behind that. And just to show you a problem, I'm just going to take this off, and I'm going to lift this slightly like this, so you can see what I've done inside. Oh, you can see a little. Oh, you can see quite. I know you can't. Right, there we go. So what I've done inside there is I've actually took the seat bits out, as you can see there, and cut them all off and cleaned up. And they are stuck on the bottom of the seat, so I can actually use that separately to put back in place. I cut this bit off that was here. I picked the front and filled that with my white glue filler, extra plastic. Let's get tongue tied now. Tamiya extra thin thinner with the old white plastic card, and smoothed it all out, and then run thin glue over top just to smooth it all out as well. And I'm very happy with that. This is where the engine's going to go, and that is where obviously you're going to see it from. You won't see down below because you won't be able to see anything through the engine deck, so that's quite good. So I can actually get a bit of an engine made up for there. Look at that, 2 fuel tanks. There's one either side. They're silver colour, so you had to do that, and then add some pipes in this bit. That bit wouldn't be there, but I might be able to work around that. Might even be able to cut them out and use them. But trouble is that no, I won't do that because that's where the actual suspension arm's going. So I've got to sort of mask that and sort of hide it anyway. But that's going. So you can see I've done quite a bit of work, preparation ready. I'm going to put this back on. There you go. And so we've done quite a bit to it, and I think it looks okay to me. Quite happy with it. It's doing nice. The actual kit looks nice there. So there you go. I can't say much more about it, but like I said, I will put a video with a link to tracks that using the plastic ones. When I built these tracks, it took me a lot of hours, and I didn't want to, because there's a hell of a lot of tracks and a lot of pins to do, and glue, super glue each one to make sure they're in place. They're actually whole. I put them in there because I know for a fact I'm going to take these road wheels off in the back one, slide it on the front, and then bring it back over that, and then slide that one in at the last minute. So no problem. So I'm okay with that. Anyway, so that's where I am so far on my BT7, and thank you very much for watching this video. And I'm sorry I waffled as I normally do. Thank you very much, and happy modelling.